What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on SB22 Sports. Today we're going to be predicting the AFC North. Stay tuned. This is episode 4 of the series. Yeah, enjoy. Now, the AFC North is literally the hardest division in the NFL. Like last year, every team in the AFC North finished with a winning record, which means more wins than losses, which is just remarkable. But the question is, how will that play out this year? At last place, I have the Cleveland Browns. Last year, the Browns statistically had the best defense in the NFL in the regular season. But will that translate into this year? I don't think so. I do think that Myles Garrett will generate a lot of sacks this year as compared to last year, even though last year he had a monster amount of sacks. About right now is when I think he's going to start hitting his prime years, which means like near 20 sacks, which is just ridiculous for anybody in the NFL. I do expect Denzel Ward and Juan Thornhill to get a couple good plays this year, but I don't really expect them to be the best in 2024. Anyways, now for the offense. Nick Chubb, oh boy, he suffered a big injury last year, and now he's out for a lot of this year. Or who knows if he's ever going to be the same on the ground. And the Browns' wide receiver duo between Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy is, well, just like an average duo. And who knows if Deshaun Watson can stay good again. Because Deshaun Watson has not been good whatsoever in these past 2 years. And if Jameis Winston backs him up, then expect the worst. You already know what time it is. Let's get to predicting. In week 1 at home, I have them taking care of business against the Dallas Cowboys, then going on the road in Duval County, losing that one, beating the New York Giants at home before going on the road in Las Vegas, taking a win there, but then another road game against the Commanders, I have them losing that one. Then you guessed it, another road game against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are fully rested, by the way. No chance they're winning that one. And then week 7, I have them beating the Cincinnati Bengals before hosting the Baltimore Ravens, losing that one. Then 1 week before the bye, hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. They're going to beat them. Anyways, the Browns will be exiting the bye week 5-4, but then winning 3 straight against the Saints on the road, the Steelers at home, and the Broncos on the road to be at 8-4 now. But then here comes a hard stretch to end the year. They have the Steelers, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, and Ravens. Like, who put together this stretch? Why do you hate the Browns so much? But anyways, in week 14, they're losing to the Steelers, then losing to the Chiefs, before beating the Bengals actually on Thursday Night Football on the road, then losing to the Dolphins and losing to the Ravens to go 9-8. I don't know how they're supposed to do well in that final 5-game stretch. At third place, I do have the Pittsburgh Steelers, though. The Steelers just got a crap ton better, getting Patrick Queen, stealing a former Raven, and getting Russell Wilson and Justin Fields as their quarterbacks. Now, that is a very good quarterback duo. It's hard to have one good quarterback, but another decent backup? Yeah, bro, the Steelers should be really good this year. They finally have what it takes to be a nice playoff team. And for the wide receiver duo, George Pickens, I expect him to take the next step, as well as Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin. Pat Freiermuth is a very underrated tight end. I think he's going to do a lot this year. Now let's get into predicting. In week 1, I have them losing to the Falcons on the road before beating the Broncos and Chargers back-to-back weeks. Then week 4, going on the road in Indy, losing that one. Then hosting the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to beat them. They're going to beat the Raiders on the road before beating the two New York teams at home, entering the bye week at 6-2. Now, after the bye week, they're going to go to the state's capital, beat the Commanders before beating the Ravens, then losing back-to-back weeks against the Browns and Bengals on the road before going back at home, this time taking revenge against the Browns before going on back-to-back weeks. This is probably one of the more harder stretches in the NFL. Week 15 to 18, they're going to lose back-to-back weeks against the Eagles and Ravens before beating the Chiefs on Christmas and then losing in Week 18 to the Cincinnati Bengals to go 10-7. Next up at second place, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. With a healthy Joe Burrow, this Bengals team is a Super Bowl contender. But the question is, will they stay healthy and not have injuries this year? We already know the Bengals' offense is elite, but I do expect them to miss Joe Mixon a lot. But they did bring Mike Gesicki, though, so that should help them on the offensive side. And on the defensive side, I expect them to do normal things. Trey Hendrickson, Logan Wilson, I expect big years from them, as well as Cam Taylor-Britt. But now let's get into predicting. In Week 1, I have them beating the New England Patriots at home. Maybe the worst team in the NFL, the Patriots are. So obviously an easy win there at home. Before going on the road in Kansas City, losing that one. Beating the Commanders and Panthers though back-to-back weeks before losing to the Ravens at home. But then beating the Giants on the road before losing to the Browns on the road. The Bengals always start at shaky, so I think they're gonna start 4-3, and then now here's where they're gonna cruise. 6 in a row, they're gonna win against the Eagles and Raiders at home, the Ravens and Chargers on the road before going to the bye week, then beating the Steelers and the Cowboys. But then after that, they're gonna lose to the Tennessee Titans on the road, losing to the Cleveland Browns once again, but then beating the Denver Broncos and beating the Pittsburgh Steelers to go 12-5. But that means at first place, we do have the Baltimore Ravens, back-to-back division champions. Now, the Baltimore Ravens just got rid of Patrick Queen, so I think they're definitely going to miss him, but they still have Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, and Marlon Humphrey to lead this defense. And you can't forget about Marcus Williams. On top of that, they still have the best kicker in the league, Justin Tucker, which will definitely help them get some field goals, help them put some points on the board. Anyways, moving to the offensive side, they don't really have as much injuries as last year, but Mark Andrews is still questionable. But even if he is out for a couple weeks, Isaiah likely filled his role perfectly last year. And not to mention, the Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry backfield will be nearly impossible to stop. But I do think it's going to take some time to happen though, which is why I have them losing in Week 1 to the Kansas City Chiefs. But then they're going to win at home against the Raiders before going to Dallas, taking down the Dallas Cowboys before beating the Bills and Bengals back-to-back weeks, hosting the Washington Commanders after that. I do have them taking a pretty easy dub there. Then going on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Browns back-to-back weeks. I have them beating both of them before beating once again the Broncos to complete the 8-0 run. After that, in Week 10, losing to the Cincinnati Bengals on the short week before losing once again on the road to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But then they're going to beat the Chargers and Eagles back-to-back games to enter the bye week. But then after the bye week, sitting at 10-3, they're going to beat the New York Giants, beating the Steelers. But on Christmas, they're losing to the Texans for beating the Browns to finish 13-4. Here's a quick look at the NFC North standings. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything. But then that's all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider subscribing. It's free, it's optional, and you can always unsubscribe later. I spend a lot of time making these videos just for you. So if you can help show support, that would be very nice of you.